And we're off. Okay. Well, I had to image my computer. I downloaded a, what is it? Something disk. Check disk? No, not check disk. Something with a C. It's computer disk. I don't know. It's called Clonezilla. Wow, that's it didn't even have a C in it. And then I used it with Rufus. You use Clonezilla. You put the ISO onto use Rufus to put the ISO onto a USB device, and the boot to the USB device, and then clone the system onto a external USB. So that's why I have an external USB hard drive. That's like 2 terabytes. Had lots of space, so I saved it on there. I didn't create a folder for it in advance, so I ended up I just dropped it inside of my streaming folders. I got this really big image. So this way, when I send my computer back, it's going to come back as whatever I up through today. So anything I do over this weekend won't be on the image, but I'll check in my code, make sure my code is up on GitHub, and we will, we'll go from there. So I'm not too worried about it because the majority of the stuff I need is on here. Whatever game or whatever I do over the weekend, all right, I have to reinstall that. But I think I can live with that if that's all I have to do. So I'll make do. Okay, so at 2 o'clock, so this stream will last until almost 2 o'clock. And I have a meeting at 2. And I'm going to kind of... it's just a meeting with somebody who's helping me on this. Well, she will be. I mean, she's trying to get stuff set up. So it'll be kind of interesting to see actually what... let's see. I want to switch to. All right. So today's goal, hopefully, I have two. I'm going to do 2 streams. I'm going to do one before and after the meeting. We're trying to get production up and running today. So. We will see how that goes. And yeah. Guess we'll find out. I got so many. I don't know. All right, well. Okay. So the goal is to get prod up and running, and I guess we're going to find out how. You're like, what are you doing? You know, I make a habit of, and it's not intentionally so, but I do. I tend to make a habit of not being fully ready when I go live. got this thing and that thing kind of all half of in progress, and so yeah, it's my fault, my bad. I apologize that I'm kind of dropping the ball in that sense. That's why it's probably good. A lot of times I'll come on here and and I'll be ranting. You know, the first 5 minutes I'm talking about something that has absolutely nothing to do with coding, or I'm spending a few minutes tying up loose ends, turning on Alexa, time to stream, turning on my setup lighting. So I got a lot of things. So you could probably skip the first 5 minutes of just about anything. And if I'm in a mode of ranting like I was yesterday about my stupid computer issues, you would know that that's also a possibility. You know, various things get my blood boiling. Well, I mean, I'm pretty easy. I'm pretty easygoing guy, but sometimes I tell you, man, there's just some things that can get me going. And the thing is, I don't like to get into some things when I'm streaming. I do it every now and then. You'll catch me off on a topic that I'm like, I normally would shy away from. I do have opinions on many of the things that are going on in the world these days, and they're probably not the most popular, so I stay away from them. I don't share my what do you call it, political opinions on goings on in the world for a lot of reasons. One, I just don't like to get into that. You know, I just think everybody's got their thing, and I'll just let them do their thing. So anyhow, is my Docker running? It must not be, not since I started. I guess I don't have it auto starting. Did not know that. Probably get that up and running. So I have set up my Docker now. That was yesterday's thing. Get it up and test. So now I got to try to get things up and running into a prod environment. I have no idea how to do that. Okay, so this should work fully without issue currently because it's all in the cloud. So we're going to go to my gateway, my front end, gateway front, here we go. Maybe. Are these all running? Oh, they're not even running. Let's start everybody up. Now this is the test. Oh, that just whipped right up, man. What the heck? That was quick. Check that out. All right. So, oh, it is going to make me log in today. I may not actually have a user. Yesterday was kind of weird. When I set this up, it was showing me as logged in. And I was like, why? This is supposed to be an initialized database. So I don't know if it carried over something that was just literally a carryover from my, from when I did the build. It brought things over onto the application. And I was like, how did it do that? Because I would think this is supposed to be an initialized database that's only new to test. Now, in theory, I don't know how that's going to work. I'm a little concerned of what settings and what I have to do, because I don't want to be wiping out my database in production. I want my database to be fixed. So whenever I redeploy or update, unless short of rebuilding the database, I mean, I really don't know how that's going to work. I don't want to rebuild the database. I want it to store the data and keep the data. And then when I update, pass new things up, the users and whatever exists there will stay there. And the same should technically be for test as well. So, I mean, there may be times I have to bring it down, put it back up, whatever, but I shouldn't have to wipe out the system. So that's got me. I think, I mean, I know there's a way to do it. I mean, I asked AI at one point. I wasn't like doing it yet, but at this point, I probably should start getting that going as well. But for now, let's get the production stuff up and running. I don't expect it should take very long. Well, that could be optimistic thinking. I don't know. I mean, it's going to basically be the same as test, right? Except it's going to trigger on a different thing. I got to get the NGROK stuff going. I have no idea how to do that, so that's going to be part of it, of course. All right, so let's go to my app. And let's see if I have this. I don't think I do, but let's see what it does. Thinking it says, what is that? What does it mean? Oh, network error. Now, I should show everybody's running. Everybody's running. Network error. Let's go here and see if I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be the same problem. 0, 2, 0, 2, 1. Probably network error. Okay, so yeah. Let's go ask the AIs. I don't know. Why would I be getting a network error? Is there like errors that show up on here? Hub Scout. All right, so let's go here. When I try to log in on my React / Next.js application in my Docker test environment, it is getting a network error. How do I network error when it is trying to connect to my Go authentication web service? How do I figure out the cause? All right. How do I do that? Docker Compose. If you're using Docker Compose, ensure that the services are correctly defined and linked. Here's a basic example. This setup ensures that React app waits for the Go services to be available. Well, maybe that's a thing. All right, let's go see my Docker Docker Compose test. See, I don't have everything here dependent on the same thing. So it is possible that I have, like I say, I only have this depending on the database. but the services aren't being called. Okay. Docker is returning a network error when I attempt to log in to the application from the front end website that need to connect to the NGROK service. Should be connecting to the TV. No other info is I'm wondering if there's like this logo doesn't really help me at all. it's just this glob of glook. I don't even know. Oh, this is when it started. So everything here is running. So oops. Where'd I go? How'd I end up over here? I clicked settings somehow. It's like, what? Where am I? I'm lost. Take me back. What is today? 124. Is there a way to find an error? What if I just say network error? Network. Is there an error? Alright, well, let's go see what this said to me. Alright, check Docker network. Ensure that all services are connected to the same Docker network. By default, Docker Compose creates a network for the services defined in the Docker Compose YAML. Alright, let's go look at the Docker Compose YAML. I have one here that's just base, probably. Have I updated this one yet? 2000. I should probably make sure these API URLs are all in sync with their realities. So let's go here, put this over here, dump this one. Then I gotta go look. I think I have them set all in one place in common. I don't know. I think I'm doing more Wizard of Oz. I don't know why I'm getting there. Up to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Let's see here. So who do you think I could play in the Wizard of Oz? If I was in a play, there is no play going on, so I'm not doing Wizard of Oz. I'm just saying if. What character would I be? The wizard? Don't look behind the curtain. Stay away from the curtain. I'm pretty sure those aren't the words he uses. But I know he does freak out when they're going to go check out the curtain. And his part's pretty small. I'm trying out in the next play that this little company of actors that I'm doing this play I'm in with. I'm trying out for another play. It's The House on Haunted Hill. Is it this one? Nope. This one? Maybe? Nope. Somewhere I have these defined. I don't know where. Okay, so let's just look. It's just easier to look. All right, so we'll go to AMG auth, and this is going to be in the main. And this one uses 2000. Okay, so AMG auth is 2000. So if I go here, this one should be AMG auth. Okay, so we got game plan is 1, playbook is 2, and gateway is 8080. All right, so game plan is 1. I just got to make sure I put them all in sync so I don't have like conflicting stuff. Let's close that one for now. Okay, so game plan, main. Is 1. All right. Game plan is 1. Okay, so we got playbook is 2. It looks like I did probably fix them, but playbook is 2. And gateway is 8080, which I'm 99.9% sure is also true. Gateway. Well, it says 3030, but oh, there it is, 0, 1, 2 also. But it's not 3030, it's 8080, and it's probably set here in the M file that is close to this. Yeah, it's 8080. So, yeah, we're good. Why did it say 3030? Why am I using 8080? I don't know, but that's what it is. So we're going to leave it. All right, so it's saying Docker compose test is the one I need to be concerned about right now. So we'll close this. That was more of a validation, I guess. Let's go make sure. All right, so here is the updated Docker compose test file with some additional checks. All right, so we got DB. They put the DB at top. I guess it makes sense, right? I mean, well, AMG auth is going to initialize DB, so I feel like that is more important. Check the logs of AMG auth and MongoDB. Let's go look at those and see if they have anything. AMG auth. User NGROK skipping creation. That didn't have any problems though. It said it already existed. I don't know what the network error would be though, if that's the case. That could have been just when it initialized though. When is that? 124 at... That was yesterday, right? Today's today's 124 at 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. Why is it trying to do it at different times of the day? We got a 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. Right? No, 20 is... No, wait. 124. Today's 124. No, 20 is like 8 p.m. How can we even have an 8 p.m.? Why is my time all weird? This is 12:38. This is recent. I'm so confused because this is different. 12:38 versus 20:38. So there must be like a variation of where things are actually at versus where I'm at. This is 12:38 is one I just did, and 21:13 was yesterday. Okay, so these are the ones that just happened. For whatever reason, when I tried to log in, and then obviously it happened yesterday, and then 12:38 we got this connection. All right, so that, where's the network error then? Let's go back to containers. I don't know. Oh, is it images? Is that what this is? Nope. Volumes? Hub? I don't know where I'm at when I do this. Containers. It's just like there's not a... I'm not anywhere. I guess I'm not on any of this. I don't know what that is. Okay, so the database. I gave it MongoDB. Okay, so let's go here. If this stuff is pushing down, oh, that's big. About to fork child process, waiting until server is ready for connection. I don't know. Is there an error in here? Error message, JSON output. Nope, don't know how to spell, but that's okay. It's not that either. Okay, so that's not telling me anything. All right, let's go see. So DB, which it moved from the bottom to the top for some reason. Mongo 6, PFFM, all right, IMG auth. NG auth. Don't see anything unusual. Huh. Oh, that doesn't work. Need image line to reference the Docker test file that is stored in the cloud. Yeah, I know. That's why I put that there. Let's try something different. Check my docker-compose .test cloud.yaml and tell me what might be causing the network error when this runs. When I try to log in and the front end service. Okay, be a little more specific. Tell it to look at the file. Tell it to help you pin down the issue. One thing I like about Claude, I mean, Fat Claude, the main Claude, not Claude in here, is it tells you. If it needs more information, it says, hey, can you give me this file or this information so that I can look and compare or check? And I'm like, by all means, you know, usually. Like, I don't, like, you can see a lot of this is putting my password into here, which I don't like. I'm going to change all that, but I just want to get everything working first. That's like kind of my working test password for now. Here are the things to check. Service names and network. Ensure all the services are on the same Docker network and can resolve each other's host names. Right. Well, that would be good. I don't know how you check that. I mean, what here is setting them in the same network, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It says make sure that they're all in the same network, but there's not like a... There is networks down here. Is that any different from what I'm doing? PFFM network test, bridge. Nope, they don't do anything different. The volumes are the same. For whatever reason, they keep putting the DB at the top and front end at the bottom. Ensure all the services on the same .NET run a PFFM network test. Okay. They are, I guess. They must all be using the same one. The service name, blah, 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 to refer to other services within the Docker Compose network. Sure, the Mongo URI environment variable is correctly set and points to the DB service. Ensure the ports are correctly mapped and not conflicting with other services. Well, what did you do? What exactly did you change? That's what I want to know. I don't see anything different on any of this. Game plan. See, game plan is exactly... Actually, is it shorter? It's shorter, because I got the image, I got the game plan test, I got compose, docker compose.base.yaml, which for whatever reason, oh, this extends. I have an extends line. It doesn't. Context. No, you didn't change anything. Oh, it's just copying the text. Okay. Huh. AMG off. I'm not seeing any changes. Nothing that stands out. I mean, it's getting rid of the extends for whatever reason. But when you go look at build, and then after build, I have the 14, and then all this stuff stays the exact same, and then it has that. So not seeing any significant difference here, but we are having an issue for sure. After making these changes, rebuild. What changes? You didn't change anything. I don't see any changes. Please point out what you did specifically to address the network issue. Please don't remove any code from the file unless it has an effect on the issue. Because it removed the extends. I don't know why it did that. So I've got to make it, I've got to yell at it. Say, stop trying to remove my code. With the necessary changes highlighted. Okay, so I don't see any change to include all modules. Okay. gRPC gateway. That one looks different. 8084. Nope, not different. It's the same. Gosh darn it, I don't see what you did. Front end. PFF web. I see nothing done. In fact, it says with changes highlighted, and the code that it's highlighting is like there's nothing there. I have that code already here, so I'm not seeing anything other than the fact that I put DB at the top, which I don't see how that would make any difference. Huh. And volume. All right, you know what? Forget you. You're fired. Let's go talk to Claude. Claude, the expert. Oh. We'll go to Master Claude. That's when I was doing my imaging. I had to get that and that and that and that and that. All the Clonezilla, trying to find good clone software. Get rid of the Bing videos. Which, by the way, finally got me to the point where I was like, all right, enough's enough, man. I decided to turn my default search engine into Google because I was just tired of being, it wasn't cutting it, man. Whatever. Why concise though? I don't want concise. I want explanatory, man. Give me the full. Claude Haiku is concise. It just basically means it gets to the point. That's what they're trying to say. I hope they're not really doing it in haiku. That would be really to the point. That would be terrible. Oh, we got a FedEx guy outside. They delivering some kind of package. Surprise! All right. Getting a network error in my Docker compose dot test slash cloud dot YAML. Oh yeah, I'm not really getting. Let's actually change this. Getting a network error in my Docker cloud test environment when I try to log in to my ANG service from the React front end application. Other than network error, I cannot find any reference to the error in Docker logs. This is my Docker compose test file. What? Docker compose test file that deployed the application. All services are up and running. I see a key issue in your Docker. See, I like it when it says, I see a key issue. Now, hopefully, it knows what's going on, but it's not going to do some weird thing to me. I see a key issue in your Docker Compose configuration that's likely causing the network error. The problem is with your front end's next public API URL environment variable. Currently, you have blah. The local host 8080 will only work on the front end container itself. In a Docker network, you need to use a service name or container name. Seriously, okay, so what do I have there? Front end. Oh, I do have 80 localhost. Excuse me, why do I have that? That doesn't feel right. See, Claude to the rescue. Claude's got some clues, man. Sometimes, all right. Use the service name or container name to route between services. Change this to, whoa. Okay. Okay, so there's only one problem here. This is not different from this. Oh, it is. gRPC gateway. No, never mind. Okay, I was going to say, I don't see a difference. All right, so we're going to change that. And we're going to go here. I don't need this again. All right, so maybe we got one last little thing that has to go on with test. All right, so in Docker's default network, services can communicate using their service names as host names. Man, all right, Claude, that's another point for you. I'm assuming it feels like that's an answer. Something that GPT 4.0 did not figure out. All right, let's see this. I feel like that could actually be the problem. So let's go check it in. Adjust front end Docker settings for network error. What I like about this now is like when I make a change, it just automatically goes to my Docker test environment, which is just so cool. I'm sure why not. So what I'm probably going to have to do, that's going to run a minute. That takes about 5 minutes to run. So let's go to my prod here. I'm actually going to put the prod I mean, I could put the prod up on the cloud, but why? Yeah, I probably should, just so that it's available on the cloud, so if I need to get it or use it or whatever. But I need to, I'll have to figure out how best to do this. But right now, I'm going to go Control A, Control C. I'm actually going to create a new a new file here. New file. We're just going to call it, I want to basically, wait, what is, oh, nope, did that escape, I don't want that. It's not going to be in PFFM web. We're just going to go here. New file. We're going to call this Docker compose dot prod dash cloud dot, yeah. Okay. And we're going to take my test, because it's pretty much, I think it's going to be a lot the same. And then we're just going to go Control F. I'm going to say test. And change it to PROD. And we will go oh, there is no lowercase. Wait, what? None of the above? Test, the word test isn't even in here? Oh, not anymore. I guess I guess it was lowercase and I made the change and it just changed it all. Okay. But do I want, so my prod environment needs to be slightly different. Because I'm using, I have test for setting at 4,000s, setting at the 4s. And then I was going to do prod, I think I have setting at the, gosh, prod is, that prod is way broken. Way missing stuff, man. And then I gotta go here. I think I have this planned for being, man, I don't know if any of these are working. That's like totally not anything. We'll go, I think these are supposed to be 5,000. Just keeping them a mile apart. $50.80, 5,000. Okay, let's go see what that did. I'll go over to my programming, go look at my GitHub, which should be here somewhere. GitHub. Oops. Now we're going to go to my football simulator and the actions. So we have this guy running, adjust front end. Okay, so we have that. And then I should go here and go back to containers. I think I need to, what? I need to start this from the cloud, I think. I'm just trying to remember, how do I start this? Yeah, this is what I want. I'd imagine it's doing something. I guess we'll find out shortly. It's just kind of sitting there twiddling its McNoodles. Let's see here. But you know what? That might not work. But why are we stuck? I have some settings that are very specific for running this, and I might not have put them all in. Stop it! What is it doing? That's probably not going to work because I think I'm using a different... I need to change my image. I bet you put a new image up on the cloud. "17 hours ago, 2 days ago." Can I get the latest? Well, that's... I don't think... Did it not work? It says it worked. All right, let's go back over to my Docker Cloud. I'm probably going to have to put in a thing for my Docker Cloud because that's a new thing for my programming thing here. So yeah, I don't have it. Definitely going to want my Docker Cloud on there. So we're going to go to Docker Hub. Gen AI, machine learning. Sign in. Go to Hub. That's the one I'm looking for. And these guys are this thing. So I do have to change to my latest tag name. Let me go back over here. There we go. There we go. We got stuff up and trying to run. Okay, we're supposedly up and running. So I should be able to go back to my containers. 7 seconds ago. Front end is up and running. Everybody's happy. We're still not a guy here, but we're going to find out if this works. And then go get my password because I never remember it because I'm not even trying to. I'm more secure with this password, it seems. Well, it's not intentional. I was trying to be secure with the other one, but stupid Claude keeps trying to put my password in everything. Oh, it still gets a network error. Ugly muggly. Localhost says 4300. Localhost 4300 says network error. Dang, Nabisquits. I thought that was going to fix it. I was so confident. I was so confident that was going to do it. All right. Well, the app does, well, kind of does. No, it doesn't currently run correctly. Okay, so let's see. What else did it say? Did it say anything else? All right, so additional debugging steps. Gateway refers to the service name in your compose file. Matches the internal port of your gateway service, which is fine. That's fine. Okay, so I still think that might have a lot to do with the issue, but let's go look at something else. Verify network connectivity from front-end container. Can I do that? How do I do this? Front-end container. So that this one. So I go to front end. Can I do something here? This should help resolve the network issue and trying. Could be that I only changed. Well, all it says what he did. Oh no, this is the one I'm supposed to be looking at. I keep looking at the wrong one. Okay. Logs. Okay, let's try these. And then, all right, I gotta close this because it keeps distracting me. Go away. This is the one I want. Okay. Ensure your gRPC gateway is configured to listen to instead of localhost to accept external connections. I'd like me to help you verify the network connection and examine the specific network errors you're seeing. Yes. Guidance on guidance on figuring this out would be great. All right, let's systematically diagnose the network issues with Docker services. Okay. Come on, Claude, help me solve this before you have to take your break from me. Network configuration verification first. Let's confirm the Docker network configuration. List Docker networks. All right. Docker network ls. Inspect the default network. All right, we got bridge, host, none, and PFFM network test. Bridge. What to look for. Confirm all services are on the same network. All right, well, let's do that. Docker network inspect PFFM network test. Network.test, created scope, attachment. NGROK. Well, the IPv addresses match. Well, sort of. I mean, the MAC address doesn't, but the IPv4 addresses. 1806, 18. Oh, this one says 8. That one says 1802, 6, 7. Compose, config health, config hash, network, project, version. Check IP address assignments. What network driver bridge? Inter-service communication test. Let's verify communication between services. Let's do that. Start container process exec. No such file or directory unknown. Enter the front end container. Okay, not sure where to enter all this. I am just using my bash terminal. This see in step 1. Let's just say I'm going to give them as much information as I can. So this is what I have going through step 2. 1. 2 dot and tip. Long chats cause you to reach your usage limits faster. Whatever. Jerk. Use Docker Desktop's terminal or PowerShell instead of Git Bash. Okay, I don't know how to get to the... How do I do this in Docker Desktop? There's no... Alright, I'm in Docker Desktop. Images, builds, Docker Hub, Docker Scout. What is... I don't know what all this stuff is. None of this stuff says anything about a terminal. Alright, wait, SQL container VNC Daytona. Maybe I have to install a terminal? Walkthroughs, containerize your application. See, there's nothing here that says anything about the terminal. Docker engine builders coming to software advanced extensions. Code Scout, Docker build class, speed up your Docker builds. Don't know, man. In pity. Try this command instead. Or use PowerShell. Since we can't enter the container, let's diagnose differently. How do I use... I have Docker desktop installed. I just don't know how to enter commands anywhere. Don't see a terminal. Using Docker Desktop terminal. Open Docker Desktop. Look for a terminal or command prompt icon. Yeah, that would be great. But do you see a terminal or a command prompt icon? I'm staring at it. I see not. That don't look like that. Just looks like a learning thing. Command prompt. Oh, there's terminal right here. Aha! Enable. Aha! Found it. Alrighty. Now, let's see what happens if I go up here and try these things again. Let's see if I go copy. Not any different for the first two commands, but we'll copy these ones and try those as well. Okay. I don't know how to get out of this. I can hit this as many times as I want. You're really not going to let me paste anything? Alright. Docker exec dash its PFFM dash run dash test and sh. Okay, I don't know. Oh, maybe I have to do this. NS lookup grpc dash gateway. Try to curl the gateway service. Curl http grpc gateway. grpc gateway. I'll try logs PFFM dash front dash front end dash test. All right, well, Problem is, oh, I hate doing a new chat, but we'll see. These are my responses. In Docker terminal. I am getting a network error trying to log in on my end web application micro. Oops. Shows Docker internal DNS services is working. The gRPC gateway service has been resolved to an IP. That means your service can be discovered within the Docker network. You are attempting to curl a gRPC gateway service on port 8080. However, the curl command is not installed in this container. To resolve this, you can install curl in the Docker file. Use alternative network debugging tools like Wiget or Telnet. Network connectivity. Despite the DNS resolution where you have shown the actual connection error from your front end. That is the problem. I don't have... That is a problem. The only error the alert shows is network error. I have no idea where to find more details. Let's see here. When you encounter a network error, your first goal is to gather more context. Yeah, that'd be great. Are you using JavaScript, browser developer tools? Can you log the full error object instead of showing an alert? This is only happening in Docker environment, not in local environment, so I don't have any context as to where or what is triggering, other than I assume when it is calling the since it is when I try to log in. Holy moly. It's giving me a lot of crap to look at. Often stems from network isolation. Docker creates its own network environment that can behave differently from local. So during authentication, your front end is likely attempting to communicate with the auth service through Docker's network, which introduces several potential friction points. Service discovery challenges in Docker service communicates relies on correct service naming. Well, of course, proper network configuration Hostname resolution might differ between the local and Docker environments. Network routing, authentication flow inspection to understand exactly where the network break occurs. We need to trace the authentication request. Enhanced front-end authentication logging. So, kidoki. Docker network modes to investigate. Docker offers multiple networking strategies. A network bridge default isolated network service communication via internet DNS requires explicit port mapping. Host network shares. Custom network. All right, I've got about 15 minutes before I have to stop for this brief meeting of mine. So let's see, man. Network debugging commands. Recommended next steps. Add extensive logging to both front end and back end. Verify Docker network configuration. Verify check service naming consistency. Validate port exposures. Specific questions to narrow down the issue. Can you share your Docker Compose YAML configuration? I would love to, but this is probably going to yell at me and say I'm running, I can't do no more. This is my Docker Compose YAML. And what's weird about this is when you hit your limit, it won't even it doesn't give you that question. In GPT, it's like you get the question, then before you do anything else, it says, "Hey, you've hit your limit." So you kind of know before your next question, but you never know when you've hit your limit on Claude until you try a question and it says, "Yeah, I can't do this. Sorry, you hit your limit." It's kind of screwed up that way. I don't like the way it does that. I am using Twit tokens. Retrieved from a microservice passing through a gRPC gateway to the API. No, it doesn't. Wait, what? I fixed that. Well, it's going to gRPC 8080. You've defined a custom network using, oh shoot, I gave it the prod one, not the test one. Should be the same logic though. Port mapping complexity. Environment variables of interest. This suggests authentication request route to the gRPC gateway. Yeah, that's correct. Service discovery problem. Docker's internal DNS might not resolve gRPC gateway correctly. Network isolation could prevent direct service communication. Well, that's not helpful because all you said was it could. Port routing complexity. External port mappings might interfere with internal service communication. gRPC gateway internal port might not have external expectations. It's unclear if authentication directly hits the auth service or goes through the gateway. Let's see, enhanced logging configuration. Const API URL process.env public API URL.
Incoming call from 425-419.
All right, well, I'm going to break for a bit to do my meeting, and then I will be back.